Alright guys, some players don't get the recognition that they need despite doing very well for their various team. And this is a Premier League episode of the most underrated players in the Premier League. A Champions League episode is going to also be coming. So if you're new here, consider subscribing, liking, and if I miss any player you think is underrated, make sure to let me know in the comments. Without further ado, let's start. In goalkeeper, I got Robert Sanchez of Brighton. This man, of late, he hasn't been starting much. But when he's fit, you know that this man is a hard man to get past. In the past years, might not have been good for him. But in the past 2 years, Brighton have been better than their 17th, 19th, and 17th position that they've been finishing. So I feel like this man, his international career is not good enough because he's got a lot to battle with. David De Gea, Kepa Arrizabalaga, and Unai Simons. But I think in the next couple of years, who knows what might happen. It might just clear or pave a way for him. So Robert Sanchez, my goalkeeper, had a tough time choosing between him and Nick Pope, but I went for him because Nick Pope is already a Newcastle goalkeeper, and Newcastle are very solid and everybody knows how good he is. I just feel like since he's not England's number one, I just have a problem with Nick Pope not being England's number one. But Davinson Sanchez is my number one goalkeeper. Left back is Lucas Digne. You don't even need to overstate what this man does for Aston Villa. Of late, under Steven Gerrard, this man was an absolute brilliant player. Attacking, free kick, set pieces, all that comes you need in a left back. Lucas Digne has it. Just like it was underrated part of me. Couldn't make it at Everton, was shipped to Aston Villa. And Everton are a bit regretting it because immediately was sold to Aston Villa. The first thing he did was score against Everton. I feel like he's a very, very good player regardless. In centre back, I've gone for Harry Maguire. World Cup, everyone saw him. He was absolutely brilliant. I feel like Ten Hag should a little bit give him more chance between Lisandro Martinez and Rafael Varane. This guy knows what he wants to prove in this Manchester United team. I feel like he's coming back up, and if you saw the game against Real Betis, you have a second thought about Harry Maguire. My last centre back is Fabian Schär. Newcastle have considered the least goal this season. Be like a curse or a sin not to include one of their players, especially after missing out on their goalkeeper, which has been a very standing force. So Fabian Schär takes the last part of the centre back position. While completing my back line is Matty Cash. I had a tough time choosing between Matty Cash and Wan-Bissaka, but in the end I went for Matty Cash because he plays for Aston Villa. He's very good. If you watch the World Cup, Mbappe did find a bit of a hard time getting past him, even easier than what Mbappe did in the final because the defenders didn't seem to really have a grip of Mbappe in the closing 20 minutes. But throughout the France-Poland game, Matty Cash kind of had him in his pocket. So that completes my backline. Did I miss any? In midfield, I've gone for Jacob Ramsey. A lot of players I could have put in that position. Rodrigo Bentancur of Spurs, a lot of people don't take notice. But I think that guy is an absolute brilliant. For Uruguayan team, you cannot see this guy stopping. He's one of the best you can see in midfield. But I will go with Jacob Ramsey because I feel like early in the season, Jacob Ramsey was doing spectacularly well. And more so, people don't just rate him as well as they should rate him. Centre midfield, I got Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Yeah, Højbjerg of Spurs. This guy scores goals, and scoring goal, mind you, is not his primary role, but he scores goals when his team needs it, when he's in position to score as well. You must also consider that. I think Pierre-Emile Højbjerg is that centre midfielder no one thinks about, but he's also getting the job done at Tottenham Hotspur. Completing my midfield is Alexander Iwobi, the Nigerian Everton midfielder. He has not been easy on the Sean Dyche trying to get into the system, but under Frank Lampard was just trying to recreate himself just like he did with Mason Mount. But Iwobi seemed a bit more easier, especially with him helping out more in defense and finding a particular position. This season has been one of the best. Everyone can see that. Everyone can testify to that. Sky Sports themselves, they also made a video on this topic, and they themselves can also testify to that Alexander Iwobi has been doing very well off late. Alright, for the part everyone's been waiting for, I'm going to start with my left flank. I've got a hard time choosing Cyril Hammer, Mitoma of Brighton, and James Maddison. But I'm going to go James Maddison because, he hasn't gone well in the English national team. He hasn't done well for his club, although he's still the hero. Regardless, I think when the club is not doing well, they turn to James Maddison, and he's always there to deliver. So, James Maddison gets it. Berahama, Brentford led to West Ham, I think. He hasn't really settled in, although he's been playing straight very well. So he gotten half of what he got last season. And with the number of games still left to go, who says Berahama can't just find himself in the team and get a whole lot of more goals and a lot more assists. Mitoma, dazzling dribbler, scores goals when he feels like scoring goals. It's like Sadio Mane repeating itself. Just a hurt in the ankle for defenders. Mitoma, but I'm sorry it's going to miss out to James Maddison. Centre forward, I got a tough choice. 2 players from one team vying for that spot because they're really underrated. Patson Daka, Kelechi Iheanacho, and to finish it off, I got Ivan Toney. This guy is really underrated. Last season, he got about 22 goals or more, if I'm not mistaken. Stats just slipped my head, but this season is also on his way to getting 20 something goals. Who knows? He might not be in the Haaland level, the Kane level, but surely this guy is one to look out for. He's not really been noticed. But I'm gonna go Ivan Toney as my underrated striker. However, actually, it's just letting Kelechi Iheanacho because when he's on the pitch, he's always playing 30 minutes plus, 60 minutes plus, sometimes 85 minutes. You know that this guy, when he's on the pitch, he shows make his presence felt in that team. To complete my lineup, I've got Brendan Johnson of Nottingham Forest, although it's gonna arguably I had to let go of Miguel Almiron of Newcastle. I think Almiron kind of gets his praises these days, although he's still very low, not as good as you expect. But Johnson plays for Nottingham Forest. They are about 15th in the league at this point of speaking. You can imagine what a player to actually outstand in such hellfire, if I may put it that way, because Nottingham Forest haven't just been the very best of teams. Consider how much they spent, but Johnson has found a way to cement his place in the team, get goals for his team, scoring brace at times, scoring one, helping out Taiwo Awoniyi, especially in that attack. I think he's just that player that has to be on this list because he's underrated. And mind, he's just 21 years, which means he's got about 8 years, 9 years to still tell us that, oh, I'm a good player. I'm not just what you saw in Norwich back in the days. I'm something you really need to look out for. Or like I said, I missed out on Almiron. The few players I missed out are Almiron, Bentancur, like I earlier said. I also had to squeeze out Aaron Wan-Bissaka for Matty Cash. So those are my 3 players. I'm going to put them in the results. What players do you think should be in the results? What else? Well, for this moment, this is where we're going to draw the video to an end. I think this list has made you happy. It has made you happy. If you have missed any player, why don't you write down in the comments below which player I missed. If you're new here, consider subscribing. You'll be doing me a lot of good. I want to get more subscribers and I need your help. Bye-bye for now. It's till I see you again.